Okay, wins and fails. Let's talk about who is taking W's and who is taking L's this week in marketing. I will start off with somebody who is contractually not taking any L's. That is part of their contract to never be associated with an L. And that, of course, is LeBron James. Thank you to KOT4Q on Twitter, who did some investigative research into the Lakers' social media. I'll let him take it away.
The Lakers just lost to the Pelicans. And NBA social media teams have to make a graphic to tell the rest of the fans if they won or lost. But I was looking at the Lakers' final tweet. Told y'all they not putting LeBron's picture in an L final score tweet. I wonder if he got that in his contract. I'm gonna go ahead and do that research. So I went to their tweets and I strolled. The Lakers have lost 43 games this season, and LeBron James has not been used on a lost graphic
ever. Not one.
Not one time.
Bro, this is so dirty to Malik Monk.
And I know the next question. What about the winning graphics? I'm already ahead of you. When it comes to the wins, LeBron James and Russell Westbrook is killing the competition.
What a funny find, dude. That's an L, though. That's an L for the Lakers. But let's flip it back to a win and give a big win for big promises. If there's one thing gamers love, and I think you guys will agree with me, it's promises. We don't care if they're true. We don't really care. We just want you to tell us. And that's why I want to give a big shout out to our favorite promisers in the gaming space, CD Projekt Red, who promised from their game director on The Witcher 4 that there will be no crunch. There will be no crunch. And you know what? If I think of anyone in the whole gaming world that I can trust with that, it is almost certainly CD Projekt. Oh, they did the exact same thing for Cyberpunk. And then right before the game came out, they started mandating a 6-day work week and they had to work overtime for a year. And they had the exact same promise last time. You know what though? It doesn't even matter because look at this. I saw this comment by Tenacious Warden who said, we don't care about crunch. We don't want another Cyberpunk nightmare. Crunch away if it means a complete game in a reasonable amount of time. Shout outs to Tenacious Warden here, dude. Slime's fucking cousin is out here like... You know what? We don't care. Crunch away, dude. Skip Christmas. I just want the goddamn game. You know what's funny? Listen, don't go to this guy's account or anything. I'm being serious. It's just leave everybody alone. I just brought it up because it's funny. Well, his profile is all like Wordle. It's like Wordle, the Lord, and talking about how developers should crunch. Just an interesting character, you know? I didn't really know what to make of him. But you find all types there on Twitter. God Games and getting developers to crunch. The 3 G's of life. Let me tell you, the 3 G's. So yeah, big win for the promises coming out of CDPR. I trust them through and through. Speaking of crunch, we'll talk about Jeff Bezos in more depth later. He's part of today's presentation, the full Marketing Monday topic. But we can't skip the wins and fails without giving a W to the best in the business. Jeff Bezos and Amazon, baby. Let's give him a huge hand for putting up some LeBron numbers with this new stat. Number 1 in the business, baby. Most injuries per employee. 4 times higher than other warehouses in America. Let me see. If you want back injuries, strains, sprains, repetitive stress injuries, and more, you can get them 4 times as likely at an Amazon warehouse. Number 1 by a mile. Let's go! Let's go, baby. You can't beat these are I mean, everyone else is putting up rookie numbers and Bezos out here working people literally to the bone. And you just have to give him a dub for that. Muscle and joint injuries. Wow, just number 1 across the board, goated in every stat. Okay, wait, I always like to temper a more serious one with a little more of a jokey one. And so I'll drop in another dub right here because I found this. I look at, marketing case studies. I like to look at commercials from the past, present, and future. See if there's anything I can learn. See if there's anything that's funny that happened. And I found one recently about a McDonald's mascot. Not the one you're thinking of, the moon one that we talked about, Mac Tonight. No, this is a different one. This is Uncle O'Grimacy. You guys weren't around for Uncle O'Grimacy, but he was released to promote the Shamrock Shake. And his lore was that he was a cousin of Grimace who would come from Ireland to deliver all the little boys and girls in McDonald's land a Shamrock Shake around St. Patrick's Day. And it actually worked. Sales did quite well. And then, unfortunately, the guy playing him went to Philly in the costume and said that he supported the IRA and that British soldiers were better dead than alive. So they had to phase him out. That probably boosted sales in Ireland, though. I gotta be honest with you. Probably not the rest of the world. That probably boosted sales big in Ireland. So I don't know. You categorize that one as a win or fail. I got a lot of UK frogs in here, you know? You guys make up your own mind on wins and fails for that one. Speaking of guys that keep taking W's. Whew. I mean, there's some guys out there that just can't miss. LeBron James has it in his contract, can't take an L. You know who doesn't need a contract to keep taking dubs? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Kim Jong-un. That's right. Correct. Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, of course, always taking dubs. I knew you guys were going to say it, and we all said it together. Kim Jong-un, the dude has 100 plus hole-in-ones in golf. So he claims, and why would he lie? He canonically, in North Korea, invented the hamburger. That's awesome. We all owe him a debt. And apparently his body never needs to use a toilet because it apparently is quote unquote supernatural and just gets rid of its waste. That's 3 dubs, but he's never had a marketing dub, okay? He's never had a marketing dub until now. And that is why I want to show you a new ad that went up in North Korea for their country's first missile launch. This is a real ad. Music is part of it. The music is part of it. I mean, just dripped to the 9. Look at this. Look at the glasses, the slick back hair. The editing. Oh, Quack edited this? It would have been better if Quack edited it. Yeah, the part where he whips off the glasses, looks to camera, and gives the nod. Like he's fucking Tom Cruise in Top Gun, dude. And he's the leader of a country with missiles. It's, whoo! I love 2022. And you're going to be saying that a lot more today because we're going to get into a lot of great trends showing what a great time we live in. Okay, little serious. I was a little jokey. Let's get a little serious. I want to give what I think might be the biggest fail, the biggest actual literal fail I've ever given on Marketing Monday Wins and Fails. It is a news article that came out today that expressed something that I've been talking about quite a number of times. It hit the #1 on our all of Reddit. And essentially, it is about how the PPP loans that were given out at the start of COVID, the hundreds of billions of dollars, a vast amount of them, hundreds of billions of them went to fraud. Basically, just to get fraudsters to buy mansions and cars and nothing of value. I'm going to watch a little bit of the clip here.
Called the Fleecing of America. Over the last 2 years, the federal government approved a historic $5 trillion in pandemic assistance for struggling Americans, small businesses, and healthcare providers. But now investigators say hundreds of billions have been lost to fraud.
This $3.5 million Florida mansion seized by the IRS was bought with taxpayer dollars that were supposed to rescue American jobs and small businesses. It funded a swim-up bar and a horse stable. The buyer,
well, that's worth it then,
allegedly claiming he had 400 employees. According to prosecutors, he had none.
It's an easy mistake to make. So we don't need to watch the whole thing. But anyway, a vast majority of this money went to fraud. But what I want to talk about is the larger problem, which is that even the money that didn't technically go to fraudulent, pure fraud people that just didn't have employees at all, went to corporations that didn't deserve it. Companies like Potbelly and Applebee's and big corporations that weren't small businesses at all basically took the money, didn't save any jobs with it, and pocketed it. Many companies that were supposed to keep employees on with the money took the money and then fired the employees anyway. There's no oversight. There was no checking. It's just hundreds of billions of dollars printed and sent to the wrong people that had no help. And then they blame things like the paychecks to every person. The $1,200 or $1,400 paychecks that everyone got is a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of incorrect and fraudulent money that went to businesses that didn't deserve it from the PPP loans. And I want to explain a little bit of why it's so bad that it goes to these people specifically. And it's an effect that I'm not going to, this is not an economics class. I'm not going to go deeply into it, but it's called the Cantillian Effect. It's named after this French guy that noticed that when gold was created in France, I don't remember what century exactly it was in, whoever is closest to those in power when new money is printed that causes inflation benefits extremely. Because what happens is, let's say there's only $1 million in existence and they print 4 million more. The people that get that money first get to buy everything before inflation takes hold. And so when a bunch of money is printed at the beginning of COVID, and it goes primarily to fraudsters and rich people, they get to buy the houses, they get to buy the stock, they get to buy the real estate, they get to buy the cars. And then as the price of everything rapidly increases, they get all that price appreciation. And then by the time they send out checks to the regular person or the money trickles down, everything's too expensive to afford anyway. and your savings are beginning to inflate away. And then when all of the money gets inflated away, who's left with the hard assets? The people that were close to the government and the well-connected. So I think we should all be a little bit angry about this. I think it's really, really frustrating. And I think, there's a real anger, I think, among people that are getting screwed by this. And the real world impacts of it are quite apparent. So as gas prices rise, I want to give one final L to a person who I consider one of the closest I've found to like a real world one of Satan's demons. Okay. And if I had to pick, of all the jobs in the world, who was most likely to be one of the real world Satan's demons, it of course would be a mid-level executive at Applebee's. Because this email got leaked that said why gas price increases is good for hiring. And it basically said the advantage for us is that people will be desperate. People that need to pay for gas as it rises and as the there's no more checks, there's no more, government assistance or relief, will be forced to come work at our shitty company for low wages. Be great at what matters is his fucking email signature. Most of our employee base, and particularly employee base, live paycheck to paycheck. Any increase in gas prices cuts in their disposable income. As inflation continues to climb and gas prices go up, that means more hours employees will need to work to maintain their current level of living. We're no longer competing with the government when it comes to idling. Stimulus money is no more. Supplemental employment is no more. That benefits us as prices rise. Simply we'll have less money to spend. It will force people back into the workforce. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm not sure he's 100% correct. In fact, while inflation has been extremely negative for the average worker, certain market forces lately have benefited the worker. There's been an increase in labor union participation. People are generally getting paid more. Wages are going up. I'm not sure Applebee's will thrive in this environment, but the fact that he sees inflation and rising gas prices and people having less money as a huge positive is just so sick. And so I wanted to particularly shout out this guy. I'm even going to name him. This guy's name, they cut it out. Wayne. I don't know his last name, but Wayne. Applebee's also applied for small business loans from PPP. Despite being a massive business, they applied for small businesses in order to keep on their employees and did not keep on the employees they promised to keep. So Wayne P, go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's my last L. Sorry, I got a little serious at the end, but those two things made me mad today, and I wanted to include them.